evening.
Good evening.
Dear Reverend, you are one of the most beloved and respected British personalities to the Romanian community here in the UK. I would like to ask you, how did your history with Romania start?
Well, it started a very long time ago, actually. The first time I came to Romania was almost 30 years ago. In the days when it was before I was a diplomat. I was still working as a consultant, and I was asked to come to Romania in 1996 to help to privatise the state poultry farms, the state pig farms, and the animal feed mills that made the food for the pigs and the poultry. And from the very first time I came, I felt this was a country that was different to any other I'd known, and I felt very comfortable in Romania. And I came that year. I must have come about six times each time for 1, 2 or 3 weeks, and by the end of the time I felt this is a country I would really like to spend a lot more time in. And after that, for about 8 years, I was here, there and everywhere, and I became a diplomat. And in 2004, I was posted to Romania. And I did have choices, and I chose Romania. I think it was that memory from 1996. And once I came there, I was in Romania for 4.5 years. So it was a time, I was living there all the time. So a time to really get to know the people and the country, to fall in love with the country and to fall in love with my wife,
Yes,
who
of
now
course.
who became my wife from meeting Gabriela Ella in Romania.
And what did you like most in Romania, besides Ella?
Besides Ella, everything is secondary, of course.
Yes.
Pretty much everything. I loved the countryside. I hated Bucharest streets and noise and pollution and being crowded on the metro. But there was something about the place you couldn't dislike. I like the food. I like the beer, Timișoreana. I like the water, Vorbesc. The people are very warm. I think it's the Latin blood that you have from history. And I like the culture as well. You know, see, by that time, as well as being a diplomat, I was helping with English language worship in the English church in Bucharest. And that gave me the chance to be involved very deeply with the Romanian Orthodox Church and all the other churches that are represented in Bucharest. There's an Armenian church, Hungarian church, a German church, the Italian Catholic church, and we had a relationship with all of them. We called it interfaith community, and it was really nice to share our differences and our similarities.
And have you learned something new and interesting there? I don't know. Have you learned how to cook a special meal, Romanian meal or something?
Well, I learned how to eat the wonderful Romanian foods. Actually, we have a system in our kitchen because Ella knows so well Romanian foods, so she tends to cook the Romanian foods. Although now I know how to make cașcaval pane, for example, I can do it as well. But I tend to do the English recipes, and I love cooking with a wok as well. So any sort of the different things we can make in there, risottos, for example, they tend to be mine.
And how about the language? How much Romanian would you say you know?
Yeah. Înțeleg și vorbesc un pic. As part of my responsibilities in the European Commission delegation, we had to have 3 languages. When I first joined, you needed 2, so I had English and French. And then to become a permanent member of staff, I needed to add a 3rd one. And it was around the time after I'd met Ella and we were planning to get married. And so I decided to make Romanian my 3rd language, and it means that I'm able to speak to Ella's family, and when we go to Târgoviște, where Ella's family come from, I was safe to leave to go to do the shopping and things like that. I've even been sent to the Primaria to pay the taxes at the end of the year, and so I can understand Romanian and I can speak with a very English accent. But again, I love the language, and I think it's partly because I see similarities with Latin, which I'd studied at school.
Yes, you were a priest in a church in Harrow.
Yes.
Before, where many Romanians reside in a very large community.
Yeah.
But now we are in a different place. Can you tell us a few things about this church and this amazing place we have here, a landscape very special. Can you tell us a few things about
Of course.
this?
So if we start with Harrow, Harrow is a typical English parish church. So most churches in the Church of England are in a residential area, or if they're in a country area, they concentrate on the people who live in that area, and we call it a parish. And so Harrow had its area, and as you said, over the years it had become very cosmopolitan. There were Romanians living there, Indians living there, Jewish people living there, even a few Brits. So it was a really mixed community. And in a parish like that, the priest is focused on serving the people of that parish, whether they are English, Romanian, Indian. And so our preschool, for example, had a lot of Romanian children, had a lot of Indian children. And I tried to make our church open to the Romanian community as well. We had services, we had concerts there. So then a year ago, I moved here, and this is a very untypical English church. In the City of London, there used to be a lot of people living. It was very densely populated, and there were no offices and hotels. Now it's changed totally. So I'm looking at an enormous office building behind me. If we look there, we've got the Tower of London. No houses at all. So this is really untypical, because the church has stayed here, but the people have moved to different parts, like Harrow. But the church has stayed. It's now 1,350 years old. And so to make it a real and living place where people can worship God, we've got to focus on encouraging people who don't live in the parish to come and worship here, or use us for cultural events, for social events. And so here our focus is on providing a place of welcome, principally for tourists, but also for people who might want to use the church for concerts or cultural events. So it's totally, totally different, but really exciting, because every day is different.
Every day is different, and every day you need to speak to different kind of people.
Yes.
Do you like this diversity? Isn't it a little bit difficult to manage so many relationships?
No, I love it, and partly because it's what I was doing when I was a diplomat. I was posted to different capital cities, and as well as being a diplomat, I was running a church, an English church, and so I was meeting different people. I was making them welcome. I was trying to work out different activities that would be of interest to people who were staying in somebody else's country. This is just the same, so it's wonderful.
I think you have a celebration here in the church, 1,300 years.
1,350.
Yes.
Yeah. So in 675, it was a lady. She was a nun. She was in a religious order, and she was the head of an abbey in Barking, which is now part of London, but then was a village to the east of us. And her brother was the Archbishop of Canterbury, and he gave her permission to establish a church right here. And the first church was established in 675. And since then, there has always been a place of worship here. At first it was wood, then it was stone, then it was brick, Then in the Second World War we were bombed and only these outside walls were left. The roof went, the tower stayed and the outside walls, and it's been rebuilt, but always it's been a place of worship. So we're trying to make it a celebration of such a long time where despite whatever happens, we still are able to worship God.
It started from a lady, and I would like to ask you about the possibility to the ladies, to the women, to be in your clerical profession here in the UK, or I don't know, in your
so
church.
The Church of England and the Anglican churches. So Anglican means of a reformed church which is separated from the Roman Catholic Church. Our worship is still very similar, but because we are reformed, I'm allowed to be married, for example, and for the last 30 years, ladies have been allowed to be priests. And now, in this church, there are two of us. My colleague, Nicole, is a lady, and she's more senior than me. So I report to Nicole. And my bishop is a lady, Bishop Sarah, the Bishop of London, is a lady. So we have male priests and we have lady priests, and they can hold any position right up to bishop.
In Romania, it's a little bit strange to think about it.
Yes.
You know, the Romanian church is a little bit conservative.
Yes. Yeah, no, and it's something that particularly when I was leading worship and representing the Church of England in places like Romania and Armenia, where in Armenia they don't have lady priests either, I had to be incredibly sensitive and careful in all of my dealings with the Catholicos in Armenia and with the head of the Romanian church. I had to be very sensitive to the fact that they did not accept female priests. So we had to try to celebrate our differences, but acknowledge that we were both serving the one God who created us all.
How beautiful. I would like to turn back a little bit to your Romanian wife.
Right.
What Romanian qualities do you like in Ella?
Well, I like everything about Ella, but in particular, I think the difference that I see is Ella is Romanian to a typical English lady, is Ella is very open and very welcoming. She's always wanting to help other people, and that sadly isn't so typical of English people, not just women. And Ella's always very positive, and if there's a problem, sometimes Ella has a problem, sometimes I have a problem, sometimes we both have a problem. But if we do have a problem, our first reaction is we work together to try to solve it and to overcome it. And that is something which I really, really appreciate.
Can you say any parting words for us in Romanian to end this wonderful meeting?
Wow, you put me on the spot. Normally, I prepare myself. Mulțumesc mult pentru oportunitate să vorbim. A fost un privilege pentru mine. Iubesc România, iubesc limba română și vreau să I help whenever I am able.
Să ajut cu tot ce pot.
and Romanians.
Mulțumesc din inimă, vă mulțumesc. Este o onoare și pentru noi să ne întâlnim cu o personalitate care iubește atât de mult România, limba română și comunitatea noastră românească. Vă mulțumesc!
Mulțumesc mult!